Good afternoon, Speed Gaming fans, and welcome back to the Dash Spring Invitational 2004 quick tournament over this Memorial Day weekend. We are into the second round. We have our first matchup of the day, Audra versus Idol. My name is DJ Webb, and I will be bringing you this match along with my co-commentator, JXB Adam. Is it okay if I just call you Adam?
Yeah, you can either do Adam or JX or whichever. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I am okay with that. This should be a pretty good race. Both of our runners advancing from the first round. Audra, pretty commanding 2-0 victory. Idol in an absolute crazy set that unfortunately did not receive a restream. A 2-1 victory over Dang. So these two both advancing into the further points of the tournament. This will be as what has been just a single mode tournament. Chozo, item split, full area, and vanilla bosses. A few extra things, but I'm very excited for this race, as I'm sure my co-commentator is, and we should have a fun one on our hands.
Oh, absolutely. I anticipate that this could be one of the races of the tournament. And because this is a short tournament, every race could be a race of the tournament.
Yep, it's kind of fun to just plan for a tournament. It's like, instead of chunking out 2 months of your life, it's like, hey, we're doing this over a weekend. Join and have fun if you want to, and that's what we're here to do. So we are getting started, and quick overview of what's going on here. The Chozo item split is a relatively small pool of key items in the game. It's all the major items that you see on your tracker, as well as 3 E-tanks, a reserve tank, 2 missiles, 2 supers, and 1 power bomb pack. Those are going to be everything that you need to beat the game, although it will be quite a low item set if you only picked up those items. So typically you'll pick, a few extra things along the way. And you want to tell them about area randomization?
Sure. So we have full area rando, which means every transition from one area to another in the game has been randomized. Um, I'm not sure if the East Meridia, West Meridia one is fixed. I know in some area randomizations it is. But yeah, you could come down here to one of the transitions here at the bottom of criteria, and you could find, oops, you're in Lower Norfair.
Yep, lots of funky things can happen in that regard. It makes from seed to seed things are a little bit more varied. You're not necessarily sure where you're going to be going and how you're going to be able to, complete the seed, find the items you need, find the places to go, and things like that. Our bosses are vanilla today, as you can see on the tracker. They're already lit up. Nothing too out of the ordinary on that front. And then the only other things that are a little bit different than normal, we have Starter Plus Charge Beam, which is an option on the Dash Randomizer. Basically, right now, despite not picking anything up, they already have, we call it like a baby charge. It does the same damage as your beam. There are 2 additional upgrades in the game. If you pick up one, your charge beam will do double damage. If you pick both of them up, it does triple damage, which is the vanilla charge beam loadouts. So you may see people pick up fewer minor items compared to what you'd normally see. We also have a different ratio to accommodate for that, and yeah, it depends on how aggressive you want to be, how comfortable you are with different boss fights at the end of the game, especially Motherbrain and Ridley. Those are the 2 big ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And I anticipate the runners will be picking up ammo that they're tripping over. I doubt we'll see any of them go way out of their way. Unfortunately, the beach is probably going to get left out. And we
Yep,
already have Upper Norfair transition out of meme route.
yes indeed. Oh, and straight into Green Bridstar. Well, this is quite the interesting start. Sometimes when you go in that portal, it'll take you either to some place you don't want to go, or it'll take you to some place that's a little bit wide open, like Red Brinstar, for example. Here, Upper Norfair, that's got one very accessible item at high jump and one that's a little bit more difficult to the hell run, especially with one energy tank. I don't know that that's possible, but if it is, it probably is a little bit drop dependent. But yeah, the other side of it went to Green Brinstar, which is a great place to be, but that second E tank is going to make that hell run to Ice Beam a little bit better. But our runners are pretty well equipped for this early stage of the game.
Yeah, there's East Meridia at the bottom of Green Bryn. And yeah, that second E-tank means that not only could we peek the ice item, we could actually keep it, should Idle choose to do that.
Yeah, and as well, you can farm some of those enemies in the business center room and fill up that reserve tank, which they got at the high jump location. And then
The
you
reserve
really
tank, such a polarizing item. I don't know why anybody wouldn't pick up at least one.
there may or may not be other things at play with regards to some people's, preference for reserve tanks. But like you said, I mean, it's 100 additional energy. You just got to work a little bit harder, and then you're good to go. As well as some more advanced things that you can do with pause abuse and things like that. But as it stands, Idol decided to, come back here into Upper Norfair. Audra, you said, you know what, Green Brinstar, I like that a little bit better, and it's been rewarded with a speed booster. So far so good. Going to be moving more quickly, but Idol a little bit more thorough. And reward number
Uh-oh.
2 in Green Brinstar. There's a Varia suit. No hell runs today for Audra.
No, well, not for Audra, but we see idols already in the middle of one, and in fact, this is kind of a punishment for not going to Green Brinstar first, but, that's just how randos.
Yep, it could be the case that, depending on where this other side of Greenman Star takes them, it could be a little bit before Audra gets back there, but it is just 2 tanks, which, you find others along the way, you'll be fine without those. So we'll just have to see how this thing plays out, but thus far it looks like Green Star the place to be, which is not uncommon. It's a very comfortable area, no heat damage, no underwater physics, no, terrifyingly powerful enemies.
Nope, it's the normal progression of the game intends you to go there first, I believe.
Yep.
After just a small fight of a particular Chozo, or Torizo, excuse me. I don't think they're called Chozos when they can attack you.
Oh, and there you can see one of those charge beam upgrades because both of our charge beam upgrades because we're playing Chozo item split and the major pool is quite limited. Only one of them ends up on Chozo statues. The other one is completely wild. You could be anywhere, and I don't think I've ever seen them quite that close together. It's something new to find every time you play. So you're gonna see that number in the top right corner. With an area locator right now in Green Star, and then there's a 20. It's gonna go to 40 right here, and once that second one's picked up, it's gonna go to 60. So we're gonna have essentially a vanilla charge beam for the duration of this seed, which is nice.
Absolutely, and we see that Idol is in Green Brinstar. Not much of a surprise here. Just chose to go do the 2 Upper Norfair Chozo statues first.
Yep.
And Audra getting that second charge upgrade, and there you go, you see the 60. Now just need a few beams and it'll be a nice end of the game beam. As of right now, it would be a rough fight at the end of the game. I think 60 is like a 300 shot Mother Brain too if you have no ammo.
Yeah, if you're a low percent speed aficionado, you may be used to that fight, but that is a small collection of people that are, doing that of their own volition. As
And
Turian is our reward for the end of this Green Bryn Star. So we are headed back. No real other options.
yeah, that actually, it's good knowledge, but that's the one of the worst transitions that could have been found up there. It just forces you right back.
Yeah. It's also going to create a pretty linear beginning of this. We're basically going to see Audra's more than likely going back to Upward Warfare, going to do those checks that Idol already did. And then they'll have a choice of staying in Upper Warfare to clear the rest of it, or going back through criteria.
Okay,
And
let's see Idol's reaction to this Varia suit. That's one of the nice things about having the face cams. You can see sometimes runners play good poker faces, and sometimes you can see like see, just that little, oops, right there. Of course, what Idol doesn't know, and Audraxys does know, is the fact that Green Bryn is actually a dead end. So we'll be turning right back around.
Yep. It's also the case, this is usually pretty nice. We know that the front of East Meridia is the other transition here in Green Bryn Star. And because Gravity Suit is essentially all we need to beat the game already, you can, plan on doing that at the end, and it'll be put you right next to Turian, which is always nice.
Yeah, it is very, very nice to have that route to Turian already locked in. I've seen a few of these seeds, not necessarily dash, but area randomization, where you've done everything, but you're still missing 3 or 4 portals, and one of those has to lead to Turian, and so you go on a wild ZB's tour, just trying to find that.
Yep. That's one of the things that can, affect how fast you go and how how much you're willing to go out of your way for things, check portals that maybe you're not ready to go through, stuff like that. But Audra choosing to do ice first was definitely an option to do high jump first, and once you're done with ice, you can take that down to the speedway, which is pretty uncommon. A lot of times you come in here without the various suit, but with it, that can be a nice play to, get that Crocomire portal check pretty much on your way to Bubble Mountain, as opposed to, it's a bit out of the way if you don't.
A little unlucky on Audra's side, missing that Sova, Nova, I don't know, walking enemy you have to kill to get out of the pre-high jump room.
Yep. With power bombs, not too big of a deal. You just got to make sure you lay it in a way that's going to kill it on your way up. And the only time lost was trying to do it on the way in.
Yep, and Audra does it expertly, which is not too much of a surprise. I don't think there's any runner in this tournament that would miss that.
Yep, so we're going to be headed through the speedway into the rest of Upper Norfair. 2 more items at the Wave Beam and the Speed Booster locations. And then we'll have to see where this map takes us.
Well, as you've said, there's 2 transitions down here. One would be the Croc Door transition, and the other is the bottom of Upper Norfair. Actually, there's 2 over there. There's the one behind or in single chamber, and then the other one is the vanilla Lower Norfair transition.
Yep, and we're seeing this check first here at the Crocomire entrance. We'll see if this is something that is convenient. Maybe this will be your plan to leave, or if it's something that you maybe don't want to do. It ends up Criteria, which is a little bit interesting. Criteria is a place that if you get these things, on your merry way at the beginning of the game, they can be pretty convenient. Because of the way that, as we get a little bit of a loop back into Upper Norfair, because of the restrictions of not being able to have a suit, the item locations are a little bit less valuable than they are in other places. 2 of the 3 up there are still pretty quick, 230 and Bomb Terizo, especially no bombs yet, so the fight won't occur unless the item's vanilla, but yeah, if you're just, going guns a-blazy, which you can, opt to do with already having, various suits, speed booster, already found your in-game location and in East Maria. If you're looking for the gravity suit, it's not going to be there.
Yeah, that's the fun of shoot restrictions, and we see Audra doing this right side Bubble Mountain climb. This is not easy, and Audra is making it look easy, which is just impressive.
Yeah, already in this tournament, 2 obscenely fast times have been recorded. One of them on Restream on Thursday, Audra ran a 49 something. And then yesterday in an off-stream match, Zeb ran a 46. Which, the more absurd thing is that, Audra had, a completely fully, decked out loadout. Zeb had no movement. It was just a case that the portals were, as perfectly, good as you could ever want. It was kind of insane to see. But yeah, people like to go fast. That is the point.
And here's Space Jump down at the Vanilla Speed Booster location, and absolutely, people definitely like to go fast. We see Idol's going to go into the save room and use, I believe, a running start to get Bubble Mountain climb.
Yep, this is the easier method of ascending this place. Obviously, Speed Booster has some quirky, jump height physics, so turning that off makes things a lot more comfy, and you do have to get, a pretty good running start, and, jumps through door transitions can be a little bit finicky, but Idol with the, very nicely done. He's going to be doing this in a little bit different order without the 2 portal checks that Audra did early. Not going to have, all of the information, so potentially, if single chamber is somewhere that, Audra wants to go to move forward, they're going to check that and they're just going to leave. Idol might be more tempted to, find the other 2 and, be in a position where he's, either coming back in here or potentially going across Criteria. So some divergence could be coming as Gravity Suit
well
is found.
there's the map open for you, and basically go mode. Not a super comfortable go mode, but go mode.
Yes, I will be quite shocked if either of our runner finishes the game on their current equipment, but it is possible.
Well, they might have if they ran into just all the super missiles in the world, maybe.
Yes, or if they want to, sit there, talk to Mother Brain, have a good catching up session, ask about the kids, the family, what we're having for dinner. It'll be a long talk.
Yeah, I don't know how long that fight is, but it's definitely a grueling fight, and we see Red Tower here at the back of Single Chamber.
Yep. As I said, this is one of those things where if Idle finds this, because it's Red Tower, probably you keep going through here. You can option any of these three major checks. You do have the space shuttle to make X-ray pretty easy. But yeah, you can check items if you want. You can check portals. There's two up here, the direction Audra went, and there's three down below. And like we said, we've got everything we need to go anywhere we want right now. So the world's your oyster.
And there's those bombs at Alpha Power Bombs, so if we do check Bomb Chorizo, we will have a fight.
Yep.
It will be a
Finally checking.
one-sided, we feel bad for Bomb Chorizo fight, but it will be a fight.
Yep. And this is one of those things where, depending on how you're feeling about your current loadout, you saw Audra just kind of face tanked into that item, and if you see that's a power bomb, and not only did you just collect bombs, but you already had 20, probably you're not, desiring that pickup, but one of those things where it happens and you just, move along with it. But we are out of Red Tower for now. We're gonna see where this takes us. West Meridia, and we're gonna keep on going. Nope, we're coming back. Gonna see where that elevator portal takes us, as Idle is opting to check this X-ray. We did not see this on Audra's side, so essentially to spike a nice item here for what's a faster check because we've got the space jump, but it is still, it's a pretty long room. This is quite the horizontal distance to cover forwards and backwards.
Yep, and, Idle doing it about as fast as possible. I don't think Audra meant to pick up those power bombs. That's a wave beam. I don't think Idle wants to leave that. That's
Definitely.
a pretty good increase of power, I believe.
Yeah, we're gonna go to 150, I believe. Yeah, when you're like we said, when you're already in a position where you could do whatever you wanted and go wherever you wanted, beam upgrade gonna feel great. But yeah, we're gonna get this final criteria portal knowledge here on Audra's side and see what's up. That's a down, so we're back at the bottom.
And Meridia Tube, not too much of a surprise though. We're running low on transitions. We still haven't seen Lower Norfair, nor have we seen Wreck Ship or Kraid.
Yes, we
So
also haven't seen Croc. There's a decent sized chance that one of our three boss areas has at least one of those.
We could see a really nasty loop where you have to go through Lower Norfair to loop through Wreck Ship to get to like Kraid. That would be horrific.
Though it would be worse if it was Croc at the end, but yeah, it's that's something that we've seen. I think one of Audra's races on the first round had that where it was like, or no, it was like Wreck Ship and Lower Norfair were in different places, and then like one of them had Croc, one of them had Kraid.
And
Or
here we
if
see the
it wasn't
runners
that
room
one,
for room.
yeah, it was someone's race. I don't quite remember if that was Audra's or maybe one of the other Thursday races. But yeah, now we're both in the same room. Funny how that happens.
It's a
And
little
here's
surprising, and
Crocodile.
here's Croc, so we know if that dreadful loop that I was talking about happens, that it will have some kind of payout at the end.
Yeah, yeah, Audra actually should probably already know this. I think they have all the map information. The top of this area, Redfish, it's Wreck Ship or Lower Norfair, and then it's the other one, and then it's Kraid. Our map's already actually pre-laid out.
I see we've got Wreck Ship marked on the tracker. Maybe Idle peeked something and I wasn't paying attention to that side of the screen. It wouldn't surprise me because, I am blind in at least one eye.
Yeah, it could be a misclick. Sometimes these things get a little bit hard, and there's a lot of buttons on that tracker. Our tracker Fishing Boo doing an excellent job so far.
And now Idle taking a think about which way he wants to go. And
Yeah.
it actually is the back of Wreck Ship up here, so I believe somebody peeked it.
Yeah, this is up at the top of West Meridian. Yeah, Idle has all of the criteria portals outstanding to be able to figure out that this is the end game sequence. So he's going to be, a little bit behind. Got to get all this information before, confirming that this is the only way to go forward through the rest of the seed. And because we're going forwards and backwards through both Lore and Orpher and Wreck Ship, it really doesn't matter. Although I guess, yeah, it really doesn't matter which way you come into either location, frankly.
Yeah, I think unless you wanted to check Wreck Ship E-Tank, that's about the only thing I can think of, but you're going to backtrack right by that, so...
Yeah, that's a good point. If you came in at the front end, it would be much easier to check that earlier, whereas the only way to conveniently check is going to be after the end of all of this sequence, which is going to be a while. But yeah, we are in direct ship. We're going to have what a pretty safe Phantom fight, both suits, plenty of energy tanks. Our ammo is not very plentiful right now, however, but we will definitely make do with what we've got for now. We'll have to see. This is one of the interesting parts of having the starter plus charge beam. Obviously, it's already a fully equipped charge beam as it stands, but 211 minor ammo is fewer supers than what we normally play, and more power bombs. Basically, the missiles are actually the same, which somehow it took me a little bit to notice. But yeah, you are not expecting to find nearly as many supers as you would in other ratios. So what you decide to check as far as minor item locations are concerned, one of the deciding factors potentially in how these races go.
And Audra nearly pulling off the ending doppel, given a pity fast from Fantoon.
Always nice when that final round's a fast.
Absolutely. And we see Idle is now on the critical path, just a little behind Audra, though does have a stronger beam for both Ridley and Mother Brain, given the ammo situation.
Yep, it will be, Idle does have to continue to make the decision to check what's in front of him, and especially once you get, lower Norfair after this, it's going to be pretty easy to say, if this doesn't take you to Kraid, which is obviously what you want and what it's going to do, it's going to take you somewhere that's going to lead to Kraid. So pretty easy decision to make. I expect that to happen, but yeah, just going to be trailing by a little bit, and yeah, we'll see how much time this beam can make up. We'll see. I mean, frankly, even with the charge wave, Ridley not gonna be, the fastest fight right now. X Factors, that special beam attack that you get with the wave beam, pretty useful if he can pull off some of those strategies.
Yeah, I've seen X Factor openers on Ridley. I think the highest level players will get 3 or 4 of them. I don't know of anyone who uses X Factors during the main Ridley fight, though.
Yeah, you have to be kind of ridiculously good, and by kind of ridiculously good, I mean it happens in the tool assisted fights and nowhere else, because Ridley's AI is quite the spectacle to behold, and then there's the tail, which is its own beast. So yeah,
Well,
past
yeah.
3 and 4 gets very hard.
Yeah, getting it. Once we're comparing to TAS, it feels unlikely that people can do it, but I think there's a taco tank that people now pick up once in a while that was thought to be TAS only for the longest time.
Yes, the limits of this game and the human capabilities always being pushed. As once again, we're gonna go back to front for this lower Norfolk area. A nice super pickup here. Hadn't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, this seed has been surprisingly power bomb heavy for the ammo distribution. So the supers have to be basically most of what's left that isn't missiles.
Yep. We'll see. Another missile. I was about to say, I expect that to get picked up. We're actually going through to the power bombs in jail location. A not often seen pickup in pretty much any mode. Chozo definitely the least likely, I would say, for someone to pick that up. But when your ammo looks like it does right now, and Ridley's staring you in the face, you maybe gonna want to do that. You do have the option to not fight Ridley right now. You could go through Lower Norfair, decide to maybe pick up some items like Mickey Mouse along the way to Kraid, and get what's there, and then come back to Ridley last out of this 3 boss loop. That is an option, depending on how comfortable you
And
are with what you end up with.
I would say that would be the option I would choose. Of course, I probably would have already died like 6 or 7 times and wouldn't be this far in the seed, but just thinking about it logically, it makes a little more sense to go through just because look at that, another power bomb pack. What are the odds of that? I'm sure somebody in chat has like the math skills to figure that out, but it's got to be starting to get to the crazy amounts of, wow, I can't believe this is also a power bomb.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like 30-30 ammo on Audraxys to me, and like I said, the ammo ratio it's 2 missiles for every 1 super and 1 power bomb, which means we have the same number of power bombs at half the likelihood, and we haven't picked them all up. So, obviously we have a selection bias of what's been in our way, but yeah, quite unlikely what has transpired thus far ammo-wise, as well as there's 14 E-tanks, and we found 7 of them, which is also pretty unlikely.
Well, at least on the E-Tank side, and I know this isn't going to be near as bad because we have both Gravity and Varia, but we do have a reverse acid dive coming up, which is non-trivial.
Right. So Audra does elect to do Ridley first. They're comfortable with all kinds of, lower percent loadouts and, fights that may drag on a bit. I watched them do Ridley fights, and like, I know a little bit about how to, try to manipulate the AI and like, control pogos and stuff like that. They do it like 3 times better than I do.
Yeah, the only thing going against this manipulation right now would be the lack of high jump boots. I think high jump boots make the manipulation much, much easier.
That is very true. Your jump heights leaves a little bit to be desired. I've even seen some people, if they're not comfortable, they'll actually just turn speed off for the fight. It really doesn't aid you in any way.
And so we'll see if Idle does the same choice of going down to Ridley, or if Idle chooses to proceed to Kraid and come back out.
So ammo is full, 20, or I believe it's 30 missiles.
Yeah,
or
30,
no,
15.
that wasn't full.
If that was full, that was a really fast 8 missiles.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna
do power bomb strats. We've got 30 power bombs. Let's just lay them to the center of the room as best as we can, and just lock Ridley in this fun little pattern here.
Yes, you will see power bombs. They do damage Ridley, the only major boss that takes damage from power bombs. Reasons unknown, but we don't really care. We're just gonna use this to our advantage. But here at the beginning, you can kind of see you're in this pretty set pattern. If you do things correctly, Ridley just kind of hangs out and gets double hit by all of them. Whereas later in the fight, when the AI is a little bit more,
aggressive,
out of control, aggressive, all those things, Ridley is better at dodging them, and will, just hide out in the corner and say, I don't want to deal with this radioactive nonsense. You have fun down there.
Yeah, I think the reason why Ridley takes damage from power bombs, and this is just me, talking to the ether, would be the fact that if you don't know what you're doing, hitting Ridley with a power bomb is actually very difficult.
Yes, and also probably bad for you because, like, if you pick up Ridley, you can do all kinds of crazy things. There's a clip out there in, I think, the main tournament Discord of Ridley, like, actually carrying someone out through one of the locked doors because that's a thing that's possible.
Well, that's
crazy
fun.
things can happen in this fight.
Ridley saying, "Yeah, you're not fighting me right now. I'm just throwing you out of my room. Get out."
If other bosses in like any video game could simply decide to not fight you any longer, that would be quite powerful. Like, hey, I'm losing this fight. You get out of here.
That would be a neat mechanic. I think that would be fun to see in certain circumstances. Of course, as a player, that would be one of the most frustrating things in the world. And Audra, expertly finishing off Ridley, gets a quick grab, all done, and looks like Idle's taking the exact same path.
Yeah. with a little bit less portal knowledge, Idol can't be certain that Kraid's at the other end, so this is pretty much the only, you know, pretty like logical path in front of him. He's gonna be very happy when he gets to that Kraid's lair. But yeah, this was one of those things about runners who get to the very top of the competition in this game. Ardra had that fight completely calculated out. You saw they finished with 10 power bombs. They knew exactly how many they needed to hit in order to finish the rest of the fight with projectile ammo. And those are the kinds of calculations that, like, if you can do that quickly as well as executing it that well, it's going to be a real boon. We're going to see Idol. He's definitely going to farm up. I assume all of the supers will see if the missiles come quickly enough that it'll leave before those are full. But this fight, I mean, you saw it. It wasn't the speediest fight.
Yeah, he's got full missiles now. He's 3 power
Yeah.
bombs short, 1 super as of this point. Gonna already pop the door. Gonna just go in now.
Yep. Those blue circular enemies, which I do not know the name of offhand, those drop power bombs pretty nicely, but the other ones have a much lower rate. As we did see an X Factor open. Nice. Every particle that hits does 300 damage, which there are 4 of them. So if you can hit all 4, that's a really big boon. And yeah, we saw Audra did not bother with any charge beam shots because it is extremely weak and quite slow compared to any other option that they had. So yeah, Idol with a like 2.5x
Idol's
damage.
attempting X Factor shots here in the middle of Ridley, which is an interesting strategy, as Audra's doing her lava dive.
Yep, space jump and gravity and plenty of energy. No real danger in that. Just if you fell like twice and also got hit by a couple of those plasma beam shots from those pirates, then you're in trouble. But expertly done, as we saw. And yeah, definitely gonna go this way. I think it's faster unless you have definitely screw attack and maybe also space jump to get through the pillar room. So yeah, another E-tank.
And at Mickey Mouse, after the reverse acid dive is actually very nice, even though you don't really need any of this energy for Kraid. You still might want to have the energy just to get to Kraid.
Yeah. We're gonna see these first 2 enemies were blasted, and then we're gonna short charge through the rest of them. Nicely done with the speed kill. And yeah, ammo quite low, but if there's any place to refill literally all of your ammo, it's Kraid's lair. Very kind for all of that.
That's right. We've got a missile recharge station up top, as well as energy recharge, and then we've got the best super missile farm in the game in Mini Kraid.
Yep, 4 drops plus 1 once the dying animation is over, and then once you kill the boss, the Kraid energy tank room has the B-toms. Those almost guaranteed drop power bombs if you need them. But yeah, here's gonna be Kraid's lair, final boss area found, but the third boss area that we're gonna kill it. Like we said, the very convenient Dragon close to Tourney at the end of the game is how we're gonna end things off. And maybe Kraid will be kind to our runners and give them a little bit more damage. There's a missile. Still hiding the supers. Is there Idol with a nicely done Kraid or Ridley fight?
Yeah, Idol taking out Ridley. It's a good job. The real question is, will Idol continue through with the lack of portal knowledge? Continue through to see the front of Chlor Norfair? I think that's going to be the crux of the remainder of this run. If Idol turns around, I don't think there's any way that he'll be able to make up the time loss.
Yeah, like I said, because this, the ability for this to be Kraid makes it really, tempting to check. And like I said, if it isn't Kraid, it would probably take you pretty close to wherever Kraid happens to be. So I do expect it. Yeah, the big inhibitor is his current energy right now. As you can see, he's doing some farming right now with both suits, and I think that reserve should, be pretty close to full. He's got the energy to do it.
I was just gonna say, while we are talking about just how much Idol needs, Audra already dispatching Kraid, finding the grappling beam. That's the thing you want in the room that Idol was just in. Makes farming so much faster.
Absolutely. It's also nice that I've been talking about how much we need damage. That is the infinite damage to Dragon, but it's not going to help after that. So we are still looking for some upgrades. We'll see. With what's transpired, I expect we're gonna see that wreck ship E tank on the way out from Audra. There's just they've gotten like a super and a missile and a power bomb, and it's just been so many energy tanks thus far. And yeah, this also gonna be
Yeah.
checked.
Well, definitely. Probably a super nope, just a missile. And if you weren't paying attention, Idle did some great spring ball strats in Wasteland. Just a treat to see.
Yeah. Speed booster definitely probably the item that allows for the most like advanced strats and things that are really, fun and cool to see. So yeah, we're gonna see Idle taking the save. Definitely a clue that he's gonna at least attempt to check this portal
Yeah,
over here.
he's going and checking it. But low energy also for that save. Oh,
Yep,
and
he's gonna
low
take off
missiles,
speed.
so no crystal flash. A
Yeah,
few more missiles would make crystal flashing possible, but Lower Norfair is not the place to try to find missiles.
okay, and you actually saw that from Idle. That's a recent innovation, largely popularized by Map Rando. Didn't get hit by a key hunter and was pretty confident that it was gonna work. Ooh, he's turning right. What's he thinking about right now?
I'm not
Looks like he's
sure.
leaving.
Uh-oh.
That's it was already looking pretty dire with the lead that Audra had, but if you don't go to Crate right now, you're gonna well, I mean he's gonna find all the rest of the portals and he's just gonna reset back. He did take that save, but it's gonna be probably five
It's
minutes of
still
portal
that's a
hunting.
lot of time just to see those portals. And to
Yeah.
be fair, a reverse acid dive on 247 plus whatever's in the reserve tanks, that is not a comfy acid dive at all.
No, it is not. And yeah, before we turn around, I was gonna say Lord Orpho actually not the greatest place to farm missiles. Basically, the pre-Ridley farm, if you're full on energy, the missiles will start coming, but otherwise it likes to give you supers and it likes to give you energy. So if you don't, get missiles quickly, it can be a little bit difficult. But yeah, I think he's gonna remember to turn on speed booster once he's done with the space jump because of how slowly he's going. But yeah, gonna be a little bit of traversal into well, that sucks in the reset. While Audra
Yep.
is going to be heading the same direction, but with an extra boss kill, and just knows where they're going, knows what they need to do.
Yeah, this is unfortunately Audra's race to lose now. I don't think there's any level of skill play that Idol could do to make up this gap. Also noticing a note from Mass in the chat that the 211 is not a guaranteed ammo placement. It's rather each minor location is randomly chosen from that. So that's why we're seeing all the power bombs. It's just the seed decided, hey, this is power bomb time.
Yep. And yeah, it's honestly like more so than the crazy number of power bombs we've seen. The number of E-tanks that we found relative to the number of checks we've made where they can be, that's honestly, I think that's actually probably lower percent, all things considered. And yeah, we do have an ice beam here at Wreck Ship E-tank. Both of our runners are going to pick that up. Uh, it is going to
Yeah,
go from 60 to 90 for Audra.
yeah, but the other thing that does is that makes the Metroid rooms much more comfy in Torian. You don't have to power bomb them, plus you'll get all the drops.
Yes, and you don't have to, fiddle around with speed Zeb Skip. And Zeb Skip in this seed where you have this little ammo, I'm not sure Audra's current ammo can actually get, I think you would have to two-trip Mother Brain's room because of, how much ammo the Zebs plus Mother Brain one take. But yeah.
I don't think you'd have to two-trip it. You might want to, depending on if you're blasting out the Zebs. If you're just skipping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking if Audra decided to blast out the Zebs, and yeah, that would be a 2, maybe even 3-trip room.
Yeah.
Because I doubt Audra would want to use those supers just because they're so much faster on Mother Brain 2.
Yeah, I believe we were talking about this one of the matches at Speed Gaming Live in person. Audra had a similar beam, but a lot more ammo. We were playing full at that one, and commentator Zeb was saying that even with picking up the super pack with the item fanfare, it's like 20 seconds faster than this beam or something crazy like that. It's like the value is actually quite ridiculous. But yeah, here's Idle back in Red Tower. Does not have the upper two portal knowledge. those, or wait, I think, well, one of
Yeah,
them like
this
looped
is
around to come back
what's
here or
going
something
on.
like that.
Idle doesn't have the full portal knowledge, so going back for that portal knowledge, hoping one of these portals is Kraid, and unfortunately going to get severely punished.
Yeah, and as you see, Audra not happy with their current equipment. We're seeing this late game spacer check, and it's vanilla, and yeah, you're gonna take that. That's gonna double your damage right here.
Yeah, that the spacer, everybody jokes about it, but it is part of New Route Beam.
It is definitely better than not having it, and I don't expect X-ray to be checked, especially because we just doubled our beam damage. But that would give you straight up new route beam, which then you'd definitely be more than happy to just guns a-blazing go finish this game.
Yeah, New Route Beam would make it super comfy for just about I would assume every runner in this tournament. And yeah, you're right, we're not checking X-ray. That's just too long. Don't got time for that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be heading back into Upper Norfair. Both our runners actually took the same portal, but Idle's going to check things he does not know yet. We're gonna get this criteria loop between Croc and Chronic Boost, where Audra is just gonna go up the elevator, back to Green Star, into the end game with East Meridian and Torian, conveniently located in the same place. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those moments where these face cams, being on restream, we're gonna see, maybe he might be imitating somewhat of those emotes in the Twitch chat, be it maybe a failed fish, maybe a not like this, maybe a little bit of both.
If not for the fact holding a controller. Yeah, there you go. See,
Yeah, there it is.
that's it right there.
Yep, and yeah, like I said, there's the reset. He is all the way back to Lower Norfair, which I mean, at least he has the ability to come back here quickly. But
that was actually a very smart save for that. I honestly thought the save was being taken just because of the danger of the acid dive, and because that's non-trivial. But also, doing some hopeful portal checking, basically.
this time, I elected not to do the manipulation, and you can see the consequences of that. They were directly in his path, went away, and lured them to the left. Nicely done. So yeah, lost that ice beam. I think he's gonna pick that up on the trip back through again. But
yeah, lost the
is
ice beam, didn't lose the knowledge.
filling up that reserve. He's got some left on the auto transfer. As yeah, here we are in East Meridian. Another super missile.
We take those.
Gonna rejoice at the sight.
And another E-tank. There you go. That's a surprise.
I keep saying this. Every single E-tank we find makes the odds of finding the next one even lower, and it keeps happening. The thing about Chozo, like I was saying, there's 25 locations with the Chozos. 3 of the energy tanks are there. So in the other 75 locations, of which you're likely to check, I don't know, probably less than 30 of them, there's 11 energy tanks. And I don't know that we found, Ice Beam had one of the Chozo E-tanks. So,
I think we found 2 Chozo E-tanks so far.
We find 2? I remember 1 E-tank and 1 reserve. I believe you though. But yeah, if that's the case, we found, 7 E-tanks of, and they can be in like 75 locations, and we've probably checked like 20 of them, maybe 25. So if you want to do that math, you be my guest, but I'm gonna
Oh
guess
no. I am definitely not licensed to do math on stream. And Idle missing the short charge along that speedway and finding out that you must kill all those enemies to unlock the door. It's not all the enemies, it's some number, but it's a number greater than what was done.
Yep. It's funny that it's actually the case that every kill room is like that. It's a certain number of enemies. Most of the time, the number of enemies that you have to kill, the number of enemies in the room will match up. But in some cases, it's not, and yeah, that's one of them. Because of if you come in from the bottom, you can't quite access some of them, or at least they're far away. So the devs are being nice to us, and we appreciate that. So yeah, boss fight number 404 coming up on the left side. Dragon probably going to be spark opener, grapple finish, if I had to guess. But
that'd be what I would guess. In the meantime, Idle's gonna go. We'll see if Idle takes some pity on Kraid and goes to prom. I hope that doesn't happen just because.
So looks like we got a goop phase on the third try. Well, second try because the first one's definitely a swoop. And yeah. Oh, barely misses the quick grapple.
Yeah, the right side is harder to do. That's the first time I've seen the kneeling right under the turret. I think that almost guarantees Dragon is going to see you. Some of the time, Dragon just doesn't see you, and even though you've been gooped, won't grab you. And there's the turret. There goes the fried shrimp.
The goop is a little bit interesting because basically Dragon's gonna goop the moment that she sees you, and then after a little bit she will keep gooping, but those goo will grab you, but they won't actually trigger Dragon's AI to grab you herself. So you want to get gooped by the earlier ones, which is why you stay on the right side of the screen. Dragon's not gonna goop until she arrives on screen, and we do get another super missile.
Yep, as I said, we take those, and Idle picking up the grappling beam. Again, probably just thinking about the final boss being Dragon, and Grapple and Dragon are not good friends.
Yeah, one of those things. Just like Bowser in the Mario series, you have your boss layer, and it has your biggest weakness. Bowser's is lava, and here it's electrical turrets, which will damage you.
All right, and Idle's going to make his way back to East Meridia as Audraxys is making her way to Turian. And chat, if you're not already following these runners, you should be following these runners. They're putting on a great show for us today, and we've got another match between these two that will directly follow this one.
Yep,
also, if you, I was just going to say, you could follow my CoCom DJ and follow our tracker, I believe, Fishing Boo. I don't know if Fishing Boo streams, but if they do, give them a follow. Go check them out. I'm sure they'll have some knowledge that I don't have, because I don't have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is the best of 3 series. We'll have all races in succession. Game 2 will immediately follow this, and then Game 3 if necessary. As it currently stands, Audra with a commanding position, just going to run to the top of Greenburn Star into Turian and beat the game from there. Idle with a pretty substantial trek. First through Lower Norfair, then through Rex Ship, and then Red Tower, and then Upper Norfair, and then some of Green Brinstar before finally reaching East Meridia. It's one of those seeds where you're doing a whole lot of backtracking with nothing that was caused by yourself. It's just the way the map works. I think if you switch Kraid and Turian in this seed, they'd probably already be done. Just because of
That's true,
all the
they
lack of backtracking.
Oh, absolutely. But this was a heavy backtrack, and again, I just don't think that the backtrack could have been overcome for Idle.
Yeah.
And here we see Audraxys entering Turian for the first and probably last time with 30 power bombs.
Yep. As well as the Ice Beam, we're going to have quick work of these Metroid rooms. You also saw a feature of area randomization. In vanilla map, you are, Turian is right next to the ship and you can refill if you so desire. Here, you never know where Turian will be, and especially with power bomb Metroids being an option. Just a little bit of quality of life to prevent, serious backtracks or bad farming or, luck-dependent Turian strategies, stuff like that. So everything's full, all ammo, all health, including reserves. And we are good to go. So there's the final Metroid room, finishing off that final grouping with missiles to make sure that we are completely full on all of our ammo. Very valuable with this 180 damage charge beam.
All right, now let's see if Audraxys can pull out a baby skip with no high jump. That is a non-trivial thing, and based on the damage down, I'm guessing not even going to try.
Yeah, there are a handful of people, and I do mean like one handful of people who will even attempt it. There's some, there's an itemless baby skip setup. You can see that at the top level of low ice. People that have been running that recently. I believe you can do the new what is it? Yeah, it's clockwise baby skip.
The pistachio skip, I believe, is what it's called.
Yeah, you can do that. I believe you can do that with speed, but I'm not 100% sure of that. And there's also something that Sisreem came up with. You get attached, but if you charge a spark and do some things with it, you can like spark out of the baby's grasp. I don't know all the details on that. I just know it exists.
Yeah,
But
if Systream is doing it, there's probably only 2 people in the world that can do it. Systream and then whoever did the task for Systream.
and if that
And
person isn't Bob, he probably can also do it.
yeah, I will say that I have seen some extremely crazy tech out of Systream, but for now we're going to see Audraxys go in to the Zebatites. Let's see if we can't get a Zeb skip. I would be surprised if not. And there it
Yep.
is. Idle has recollected that ice beam and moving on to East Meridia to face the dreaded shrimp.
Yep. So some careful ammoing. Don't believe there were any snipes there. 28 missiles, 14 supers. What is that? It's like 4,200 and 2,800, which is like 7,000 or something like that. If my math is correct. So you need to deal 11,000 damage with your charge beam. If you want to divide that by 180, you'll know how many shots you need to do. But
It's
it's
a
quite a
lot,
bit.
folks. Or you could just go absolutely nuts and do X factors on Mother Brain.
Yeah, Ida would have that ability. Audra could do either ice shields or the phaser, especially when you attack the golden shower.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen them do lots of ice shields. The other
I just
one is a little
realized
bit more
Audra doesn't have
unwieldy.
wave beam, so of course there will be no X factors. But yeah, ice shields, very common in low ice, I believe.
Yeah, so it looks like it would be 62 shots with this beam. I actually wouldn't be surprised. Several randomizer races actually I've seen Audra pull out those ice shields. When you're not in a low ice scenario and you have more than 5 power bombs and a lot more than 3 energy tanks, it's a lot less risky than it can be in that. But we're just gonna see. It looks like standard charge beam all the way through. Gonna get the job done, and like I said, the energy is such that we're not particularly worried about what's going on, and we're seeing Idle choose to do East Meridia from the back. I wasn't looking at the map closely enough to see if this was potentially faster, but because of locations, it was really comfy to just go to Greenburn and do both things from there. But this is it's an option. It may or may not be faster or slower. It could be time neutral. Who knows?
Yeah, I would guess that what Idle's seeing is that into East Meridia faster than tracking all the way to Green Bryn, and there is a backtrack on the other side. So this actually could be faster. I don't know. I'd have to actually do some timing, which then I'd have to have somebody teach me how to do timing, and then I'd have to have somebody who's good enough playing to where the timing would make sense.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, if you find a path and you think it's good, you go with it. That's what Idle's done, and yeah, I mean you're right. It was this was in Red Tower, and going through here is probably a little bit faster than going all the way through Upper Norfair and then Green Star. But yeah,
And we see Audra. She has completed the Mother Brain 2 fight into the baby cutscene now. Basically, all the danger in the run is over, so it's just a little bit more time and one soon-to-be hyper beamed to death Mother Brain 3. Idle doing a little bit of farming on the way. Can't say that I blame him given energy situation and ammo situation. You don't want to go in too low on energy. Ammo not as much of a concern because we're probably going to do a quick kill with the grapple beam. But if you don't have enough energy, that quick kill is very deadly to you.
yep. As well as the Batsun fight, you could choose to open up with the X factors like you normally do, but you want supers for that as well. And yeah, very smartly checking these, gonna get rewarded with the super and the energy tank if you want it. I think I would take it if for
Probably
no other
take just
reason.
refill.
Refill. We're on the same page there.
Oh, we forgot to say, Oh no, the baby. There we go.
Ah, yes.
And
Everyone's
yeah,
favorite.
and there goes MB3 as expected. Idol about to enter the bot wound fight. That I think that's actually the downside. And coming from this, and I didn't consider it, is the fact you do have to fight bot wound from this direction, right?
Yep. Yeah, in vanilla boss modes, or also the boss is shifted. Well, actually, in anything that's not boss shuffle, where the boss in this layer opens up all of the doors, you gotta fight Batsun unless you know there's like super jump tech to like skip the things that tool assisted runs do, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone even attempt them. Every other skip is out of bounds, so those would not be allowed. So yeah, Batsun, our
Well, that's
friendly snake.
everybody loves sea snack. We love to see snack die.
Yes, his beautiful, beautiful hitbox that is very normal and easy to hit.
Absolutely. I mean, it only takes a task to pull that fight off. It's normal.
Yeah, Audra into Parlor. Idol is going to be probably at Dragon's door, if not in the room, when we get this dot done. Once again, very fast time. And a victory coming in here for Audra. We'll have that final time for you shortly.
Yep, there's the ship. We've got Audraxys finishing in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 55 minutes and 1 second, and Idle almost immediately after saying, okay, I'm done with this seed, we'll just get on to the next one, throwing in the forfeit. Let's get our GGs in chat for both Audraxys and Idle. A good first game.
Yep, absolutely. With the knowing that the crate thing happened as it did, you probably know that cost you quite a chunk of time, and yeah, ready for round two, and yeah, with it being potentially all three games, conserve that energy. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna do a quick fish fry just because we can.
Yep. I think I'd be curious what's behind here as well. Just
I think it's a
knowledge
super
for
missile.
knowledge's sake. Yeah.
For Idle, it would be new knowledge. For Draxus, it was a welcomed super missile pack.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see. We don't know where Plasma was. We don't know where High Jump was. We don't know where Screw Attack is, as well as the X-Ray Scope.
Yeah, I was
Cards
gonna
can
say
tell
we
us
didn't
that.
find X-ray. I mean, we know Shack Tool and Plasma Beam. Those two chozos hold 2 of those 4 items.
There's also Croc, as well as the top of our ship, the Gravity Missile. We didn't check
So
BT. We didn't check
basically,
230. We didn't check
oh,
Gauntlet.
that's true. We had a lot of outstanding checks.
Yeah, Seed went fast. When you get 2 suits and speed very early, it tends to be that way. Yeah, Fish and Door Tracker also mentioning the Screw Attack item not checked. Could be a lot of stuff in a lot of places.
Yeah, we'll hang out for a bit and see where all those things were, and then I believe we will get set up for race number 2.
That's
So
correct.
chat, the only place you should go is to take a bio break and make yourself some fresh popcorn because game 2 is coming up shortly.
That is right. Stretch those
Yeah,
legs, grab
GT,
some
we forgot
water.
GT also.
Yep.
GT, the one abbreviation that if you play Link to the Past confuses you every time you hear it in Super Metroid.
Or you can play the combination randomizer and just say GT and let people choose which one you're talking about.
Well, that's what we do. Wave Beam had X-ray scope. What?
So yeah,
Oh no, Wave
Plasma
Beam
and
was at
Screw
X-ray. I'm
Attack.
reading it backwards. Lizdexia for the win. Plasma was at GT as Screw Attack.
Yeah, High Jump at Grapple Beam, never getting that. The X-ray scope was at
Screw Attack
BT.
was bowling missiles, and X-ray was at BT.
Yep.
So there you go, folks.
Yes, that is going to do it for us in game number 1. Runners are still getting set up for the second race, so we'll be taking a little bit more than a 10-minute break, but we will be back with race number 2. Stay tuned.
Absolutely. Get your bio break. Get fresh water. Stay hydrated, or your beverage of choice. Get some fresh popcorn, and we will be back. Thank you, Speed Gaming. Speed Gaming 3, welcome back for Game 2 of Audraxys versus Idol. Audraxys took Game 1 in what could be called a nail biter, but I wouldn't be biting my nails over any games. My name is JXB Adam. I'm joined in the booth by DJ Webb. And on tracking, we have Fishing Boo again. DJ, how's it going?
Doing good, took your advice, got a little bit of a snack, got some water next to me, and I'm ready for game number 2.
All right, and I kicked off a little fun game in chat of where are the suits, which suit will be found first, and where will it be located, because it's really easy to say gravity will be the first suit. It is a lot more difficult to say gravity will be the first suit and will be found behind Ridley, especially since that would be super trolly.
It'd also be quite risky to go there to find gravity without having found Varia, but people do what people do. We'll see what transpires here in game 2.
Especially in the Chozo version, and Idol is having some fun, I think.
He's looking at a Matt Brando spoiler. Hopefully, yeah, we're not looking at that for the duration of the race. I was only slightly worried. You may or may not have heard that in my voice, but yeah, here we are, game number 2 of potentially 3. Audra, one more win to close it out. Idol would have to win the next 2 in a row, but it's randomizer, and you never know what you're going to get. That's part of the fun, and that's why we're all here.
Yep, and we can see one big difference between Idol and Audraxys right here. Audraxys is a no moonfaller.
Yep, the moonwalk allows for some additional movement techniques. Depending on how long you've been playing and what your comfort zone is, it may have potential downfalls that you're not necessarily ready to accept. So yeah, no moonwalk, no moonfall. We're gonna be an appropriate speed faller. That's what people always used to say when I was first joining this wonderful community. So yeah,
you mean
bit
the
of an
objectively correct speed to fall as we get our morphing ball on the morph pedestal, as is tradition in the Chozo randomization logic.
Yeah, that's right. Uncapping fall speed, because why would you cap something in a negative direction? The classic pitfall of classic games, and everyone loves it. It adds great effect to mini speed runs. And this is one of them. As we get our bombs, is our second Chozo item.
Ooh, that's actually a spicy item to get, because that's going to open up the 230 Chozo. It's also going to mean that if we go to Bomb Torizo, we will have a Bomb Torizo fight, which right now would be really fun, as all we have is our starter charge beam.
Yep, you do need some kind of missile to go in there, so you're never going to be too under equipped. But you prefer supers in a randomizer setting. Only bombs is it's standard in the speed run, but it is slower. You would know that missiles are not as powerful as supers, and I believe it's also the case that BT takes double damage from supers, so an even bigger boon to the green variety of those missiles. But yeah, missile and a power bomb here in the right room. Let's see this check over here once again. The so-called meme route. It was more of a meme in vanilla map than it is in area randomization, but there's also kind of not a meme there. We just, names, they get coined and then they stick, and you can't get rid of them.
It was a meme route when it was first ran by certain runners, and now it's just the path to Green Brinstar, apparently.
As it's supposed to be, maybe it's a different door, but this is, criteria Green Brinstar. That's the connection. Just, throw it somewhere else. See what sticks.
That's true. In fact, I anticipate we're going to just see all of the Chozo checks on our way to the bottom of Green Bryn to see where that transition might lead us.
Yes. Of note, you do actually need a super missile for the spore spawn check. Whether you need it to get out, it is possible that you do the fight and then take the intended route to the item and then use the super to get out, or more commonly you see the back doorway in, but it is super locked. So hopefully one of these quick items, whether it be the vanilla early super or potentially something in big pink, otherwise not only will we now be able to check that item, you can't even get out. It's a green door to exit, so we'll see.
Yeah, so this might be the case if they don't have any supers. One of the rare cases in this item split where we might see the Edecunes, at least for the first 2 items.
Yep, Edecunes is definitely a possibility here. We've got missiles, we've got power bombs. This is looking A lot like the last seed so far, where we checked quite a few minor item locations and only ended up with, I believe, 25 supers for both of our runners. And yeah, at Akuns, you can check the E-Tank, you can also check the Power Bomb, and then there's a green door down there which would lock the last item. But yeah, we're just going to go over here into Big Pink. 3 items accessible, hopefully one of those is a super missile, otherwise we're coming back. But we will see.
And both runners doing that because they are better at this game than I am. I would have been down at the Edicoons.
Yeah, in some ways this is playing the odds that you are likely to find one, as we do, thankfully. But you know, as you said, they are odds, and last seed that may not have worked out for them, but this seed we're good. We've got all 3 miners. We don't have the early E-Tank that we did, so as you can see, we're down to 49 health. Luckily, like I said, this is the not dangerous area. No Meridian enemies in any room that we're going in. There are a few big hoppers that we're gonna avoid, and then no heat damage. We're just, you know, comfy cruising through Green Brinstar.
Yeah, you do have to keep a slight eye. We're still only on power suits, so while things aren't hitting very hard, they are still hitting, and we find X-Ray is the prize for not fighting Spospo today.
Yep. We will see if we can find the plasma beam because of the starter charge. You don't need anything else to potentially, you know, do some microwaving. However, depending on how powerful your beam is, it can take quite a bit longer than you may be used to.
Starter charge microwave. That just sounds like a very underpowered microwave. It sounds like you're going to be heating that one. Hey, there's plasma. Never mind.
It's you know, it's the easy bake oven. It's not quite as powerful as a normal microwave, but it gets the job done. It's like, it's, you know, your intro to cooking.
And that's fair. And I just love that no matter what rando I'm commentating, the randomizer always knows somehow what the commentators are talking about. How we're saying, oh well, this could happen and this could happen, and immediately snap your fingers. The rando says, oh no, none of that's happening.
Yep, so this middle green Brinstar area leads to the bottom of Red Tower. Prior to any more area checks, Audra is going to check out the Spacer location. It was vanilla last race, and this race it has the various suits. See if anyone back up in chat had that on their bingo card.
No, only one person played my game. It's just not as much fun if you can't wager channel points on it or something. Oh well.
Yeah. But we find a funny little quirk here that these 2 portals, which are literally right next to each other, are both green Brinstar. So Idle, you know, doing that portal check first is actually going to be a little bit more route efficient, as Audra, a little bit of a misposition, actually misses this gravity jump. Gonna have to do a room transition gravity jump if they hope to make it up to the door. Looks like that one should work. Oh, just a little bit short.
Oh, and we see
Idle
it's
has shown
actually
us.
it's the crabs at criteria is where that one led to. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you took the words right out of my mouth. That one looks better. Yeah, bottom frame on that door. We're in there. So yeah, Idle's, like I said, Idle's pathing going to work out a little bit better because assuming they track back into Red Tower, they're just going to keep going to the left. Where Audra probably going to check this and then go check back in Red Tower, and then, you know, if that occurs, they'll also probably just be up Red Tower. But I'm lying because this portal takes us back to Red Tower, and we're probably just going to keep going from here as Idle is. This puts you right next to the Alpha Power Bomb. Chose a location 2 of 3 here for us in this seed, and we're moving forward, steady along.
And you can see Idle displeased at the fact that a Samus Eater got a hold of Samus. I know that we call them Vile Plumes, but for whatever reason in the manual they're just called Samus Eaters. I don't know how the natives of Zebes even knew Samus existed.
Well, in this is, you know, this is the follow-up to the first 2 Metroids. We have actually been on this planet in the first one, so maybe, you know, with her rampage through Zebes in trip number 1, they decided to create some, you know, additional weaponry against her force. That's my headcanon.
And here I was just thinking a xenobiologist wanted to be like, wow, this person came to the planet and helped free us from the dreaded space pirates who are now back. but naming one of the wildlife creatures after her. Oh, spoilers in chat. Samus is a girl, female, woman.
Okay, so we've got another dip into criteria. We'll see if this also takes us elsewhere. Interesting point from here. So it is the case that Idol currently has not checked Spazer, which is the various suit. So that's actually going to mean he probably goes back. But Audra, on the other hand, hasn't quite scouted out the bottom with the little green Brinstar loop. So they both have a little bit different portal knowledge, as well as obviously the big item. But the other thing was that the final Chozo in the red tower area, which we are back in on the left side, is the X-ray scope. And we got grapple and alpha power bomb, so that is easily accessible. We don't have to do any fancy deboosts with no tanks as it
Uh,
currently stands.
a no tank X-ray check without grapple or space jump is insane. I don't even know if that's possible, to be honest. It
So
probably is.
you have to know. So I believe it's the any percent like unrestricted out of bounds category actually does it that way. You have to basically once you finally get all the way to the left, you farm the waiver that helps you there, and then on the way back, you have to wait for like 15, 20 seconds, and then the global waiver will come help you out, and it's still really difficult because you take like 6 hits of 10 damage each to get there, and then hopefully it's a big health and restores 20. You have to be very careful. As did you see what we found at the 230 missile check that Idol just did?
I believe it was an ammo pack. However, I will be honest, I was focused on Audraxys doing the X-ray check because even with the equipment that she has, it's still a very dangerous check, and it would be even more dangerous for Idol, given Idol doesn't have the Varia suit, which provides some protection from those spikes.
Yes, it was nicely done. With the area randomization, Varia does give the 75% environmental protection, so you are only taking 1/4 damage, which is 15 from the spikes. So a little bit safer, but still, like you said, I mean, spike hits they can snowball pretty quickly, and never know what could happen. So it's going to be the case that if Audra doesn't like this portal, they're going to end up probably finding that green Bryn loop, and you don't like that portal with no gravity suit. So a little bit of a unfortunate thing here, and yeah, it looks like right now the only path forward into the seed is actually right there, back in criteria, that chronic boost portal we found. So we are gonna have to make our way back up there for both runners. So Idol without that suit from Spazer also gonna have to come back up down here, get it, and then go back up. So I actually expect we'll see well, we might see that cross-room jump again back up to tube, and that would probably be the fast way, but it's a little bit of traversal regardless. We'll see how these things go. But yeah, Audra gonna have a little bit of a laugh about this one, I'm expecting. We'll see on the face cam.
Absolutely no movement on that face cam.
Ah,
That
unfortunate.
is the sign of a professional right there. Also, chat, Cassandra Evenstar letting us know 230 was Super Missiles, as Idol
Thank you very
is
much.
going to go do this this check. Very dangerous, and now it got super dangerous because we're in Oko territory
Yep.
and
Luckily,
out
with
of
the super
Oko.
missile, yeah, with that super missile pickle from 230, could Crystal Flash if there was a safe spot? There's kind of not. You may have noticed this is a very spiky room. You'd have to do it over here. And depending, yeah, that's what I expected. Cross-room jump, we're going to be back into criteria, and then you could either grapple moat and then use that to traverse criteria, or because there's 3 Chozo locations in your way, you could opt to traverse criteria, pick up 1, 2, or 3 of them, depending on how you're feeling. Like I said, download a little bit slow. BT does incur the fight. 230, the one that's almost certainly getting checked. We'll see what our runners decide. Yep, there's a BT skip more than likely, as well as the 230 skip. The super missile that is at 230, helpful, but probably not going to be the most costly skip. And likely we don't see BT from either of our runners. Idol's already been in that area to have a chance to collect it, but we'll see what his path back to. Like I said, the only path forward in the seed for our runners is through this door at the right side of this room into Upper Norfair from Chronic Boost. And we've only I mean, we've got Varia, so the environment itself is not damaging us, but the enemies will, and we are
Enemies are another story. Enemies are still
yeah.
gonna hit.
Yeah, so grapple showing its worth for the second time, this time across this spiky acid snake's tunnel. No need to do any fancy damage
Yep.
boosting.
Spicy acid snakes. That still sounds like some kind of appetizer in the southern regions of the United States.
It's a delicacy on the planet Zebus. And there's front of Lore Norfair. Question in chat. You are correct. The logic does not allow suits to be in the criteria area. Just basically you don't want, or well, maybe you don't want, but it's a little bit less interesting if you could find one or two suits and you would just basically be running through the game, with the randomized items not necessarily having much effect. So, been a standard for quite a long time in the Super Metroid only arena. I believe in SMZ3 suits are still in criteria occasionally, but that's how we do things over here. And yeah, Audra choosing the left side of Upper Norfair first. We're gonna get high jump, then probably ice. We'll see how they're feeling about the business center portal checks up that elevator, and we get the vanilla high jump boots.
Some vanilla, so hope everybody has their ice cream today. And
There's
finally an E-Tank in contrast to our last race between these two.
Yes, this time the E-Tanks much less forthcoming to us, but we will take them as we get them. Only need 3 E in reserve, considering we've already got that E-Tank. Even just one more reserve would actually be enough or energy to complete the game. You'd probably be happier with more though. Unless you're Audra on Thursday, they may or may not have been literal pixels away from an energy tank that they didn't collect.
Well, that's 7 seconds, and you gotta go fast.
That's right. Gotta go fast. Yeah, here we are at ice. It's a wave beam, not skipped this time by Audra. So wave and plasma already. You can see that despite having picked up 0 charge beam upgrades compared to both last seed, already a stronger beam. Like to see that. Again, that makes that the super missile not yet acquired and most likely not going to be acquired. Not going to be too missed. 250 is a pretty nice damage. And one or both of those charge beam upgrades could be in our way.
I don't know if I'd want to fight Ridley, even with a 250 damage beam. That's still quite a few shots. But then again, these two are professionals. And here's Lower Norfair, front of Lower Norfair, at the Croc portal.
Looks like Idle is making that same decision to check Croc and then go over here to the left, not dealing with Bubble Mountain quite yet, as our first elevator check goes to the back of Wreck Shipped. We do have the high jump boots if we wanted to check that, that water traversal much easier with those boots in hand or on foot, I suppose.
Yep, boots on foot, spring ball available. We can do things.
Yeah, so we'll see. With that super missile used, a little bit difficult to go either direction for Audra. If you go through the what's this called? Cathedral, there is a green door in your way, so probably going to be farming these Sovas here in Business Center, hoping to get a drop. And also, if you went to Wreck Ship, 2 drops, very nice. At the very least, Phantoon's door is going to take a super out of you.
Yep. Well, it's 2 supers for Wreck Ship. Well, no, because you're coming from the backside. There's 1 super if you're coming from, or 2 supers from the front side is what I'm thinking.
Yep. But very nice super drops. And yeah, we have an additional pack acquired. Very nice. So
you just have to be a little toasted, and it's not bad.
Yep, 2 more Chozo items here: the speed booster and the wave beam. And after that, we have a portal over at Single Chamber, and that's looking like it's pretty juicy. There's other, with those high jump boots, both the Lower Norfair and the Wreck Ship portal that we found are logically accessible. And You're welcome to be my guest and go do lore and warfare with this equipment set. I think acquire screw attack and maybe that's looking okay, but outside of that, plasma does a lot, but 1+1 with only Varia. It's a tall order for many people.
Yeah, even the lava dive would be not so comfy.
Yeah,
Though I
with
guess with
the
high jump boots, it's not as bad as it would be without.
oh yeah, without one tank. Oh,
And
as you
you
said
asked for screw
earlier,
attack. Here we go.
the randomizer may or may not be listening to and adapting to the commentators 10 minutes in the past because it's got it like that.
Well,
Up to
this randomizer does have time travel tech enabled, so that's how that's happening, folks.
yeah, that diversity and selective haste. That's what the haste is all about. Reading the commentators' minds and putting the items in front of what they're thinking about. But yeah, nice find. Obviously, you want to find that prior to doing lower Norfair, the area where it is most valuable. Those enemies die basically, unilaterally in one shot unless they are immune to that damage, and we're gonna be very happy about that final Chozo item coming up here at the Wave Beam. And yeah, the supers as well. They've been coming much more plentifully in this seed.
It's almost like the energy tanks have been swapped out for supers. I
Yeah, it
mean, the
is.
energy tanks are in the seed. They're just, hidden around, like this one that's part of the progression because it's on a Chozo statue.
Me and you. I said supers. It appeared in front of our face. You said E tank. It appeared in front of our face. I think we should maybe hit up some numbers, put it in a machine, and see what we can win. I think one of those jackpots is pretty high right now in the U.S.
I think that there's always a jackpot that's high somewhere. And welcome to chat, B Jonas. We're glad you're here for this Dash tournament. We're glad everybody in chat is here. The runners especially, because they enjoy being watched. They also enjoy being followed. So if you're not already following these runners, give these runners a follow.
Being perceived on the internet, everyone's favorite pastime. But yeah, we found Turian. Once again, it's been found early, and that's going to put our runners in a in a decision point. Once again, we have I guess technically we have three paths forward. One of them is Rex ship back to front. One of them is Lorne Orfair front to back, and the other is some West Meridia traversal that isn't going to directly get you any items. So I think that's distant option 3. I am curious what we're thinking as regards to Rex ship versus Lower Norfair. And yeah, here's some
Speedless Speedway.
yeah, some fun tech.
Yeah.
Basically what happens, and this may be a little bit incorrect, but the spirit is there. There's some garbage blocks out of bounds. You shoot them, it overloads some PLMs, and speed blocks become nothing, and you run through them. You do have to mash the shoot button. Obviously, with the starter charge, holding it would just charge a shot, but even without it, you want to shoot it manually to go more quickly, and you'll be good to go. So this right door leads to West Meridia, which I said was a distant third, and yeah, it looks like
And it
maybe
is staying a distant third.
maybe that was marked incorrectly. Yeah, up here on the left, this is Rex ship. Ridley Mouth, the frontal Lord Orpher would have been the Croc portal. So yeah, it looks like Rex ship is the plan. 2 items versus 3, as well as being safer. And the boss here, like we talked about, that easy bake microwave, we're gonna be a little bit
We're
probably
gonna be
quicker.
cooking a ghost.
That's right. Idle with the little bit of a trail, obviously had to take things a little bit safer with regards to X-ray before various suit, as well as slightly different pathing and a little bit better execution. Idle's trailing just a little bit, but this is a decision point where you very much both of these are viable. I will say that 2 checks versus 3 in the Rex ship, but the screw attack is behind a reverse acid dive, and the bully missile's kind of slow, so both of those are a little bit, wanting as far as what you would like to find your go mode, but we'll see what our runners decide.
Yeah, well, Screw Attack I think was behind, was just at the speed location.
Yeah, the screw attack item location, not the item itself.
Oh, yeah. Of course, locations, location. It's everything. It's why certain things just never get checked in this game, like our poor mechanical friend Shaq Tool.
Right. He needs a new PR team, some better advertising, maybe get some signs, some kids with some lemonade stands, really draw the people in. As Idol is going elsewhere, I believe
Yeah,
that I would assume that he has already checked the area transition and knows that it's Turian. Otherwise, that'd be unfortunate. But going this way without gravity, as you can see, it takes a little bit of a time compared. And yeah, there's also going to be
there's
some
that
lava in this
microwave.
room. Yeah, probably. Wow, I actually wasn't sure we would be able to get the one round with only 250 per hit, but nicely done. Yeah, Idol is going back this way. Um, and back to Criteria. No, no, he wants to go to Croc. So yeah, this looks like we are getting some different decisions. Lower Norfair for Idol.
And honestly, this is what Idol needs. Audraxys seems to have slightly cleaner movement, and the player with the less movement, with the movement disadvantage, should always try to create some diversion or diversity in checks, so that they can maybe spike an advantage somewhere that the other runner isn't going to get for a bit.
Yep, as the Fane down workship is turned on, we've got item check number 1 at the right super. Our energy tank, so we are feeling much better about our energy situation than moments ago. And yeah, here's the lava dive. Like I said, 75% environmental damage reduction. Lava part of that, so you take much less damage in here compared to vanilla. And nice job on Idol's part, getting through there with the high jump. He is going to save here. I assume you come this way, you're checking screw attack.
Yeah, I think the save is check screw attack. If it's nothing, you reset. It's a little
Yeah,
faster than coming back out.
yeah, both from a get all of your supers back, depending on how many tries it takes with the green gate glitch, as well as you have to use the bombs. Well, no, you have a spring ball jump, so getting back out of the room actually isn't too slow. As Audra here in the Wreckship E-Tank can use that grapple to cross, and there is the reward.
There's, yeah, So, good news for Idol. The gravity suit isn't required to complete Lower Norfair, and this is still making progress. So, this isn't like game over.
Right. Depending on how this map lays out, it is possible that this really doesn't cost too much time. We could see here as I assume Audra's gonna leave here and check this front portal. As I think that was a missile actually.
Yeah, that was a missile
X-ray.
packet, the screw attack location. So yeah, the immediate reset along with the palm to the forehead. Face cams are amazing.
Yeah, it's never fun when the first item we found on the Chozo was bombs, and then we found some minor power bombs, and we just kind of left whatever was going on in Criteria. Idol did find that those bombs led immediately to a super. That was the progression. So those 2 missiles that are part of the Chozo item pool, they can literally be anywhere because supers open everything that missiles do. So yeah, sometimes those missiles show up much later game than you would ever possibly want them. So yeah, I was gonna say we could have ended up in a spot where we went from Wreckship to Lower Norfair, but it turns out we go from Wreckship to East Meridia. Nice little loop there. This is gonna path beautifully for Audra, as all they're gonna have to do from here basically is find Kraid, and probably you're gonna go to Lower Norfair next. And we're gonna have to see. I mean, like I was saying, if Kraid happens to be in Lower Norfair, it's actually pretty good for both of our runners. It's just going to be the case that Audra is almost certainly not going to go down and check screw. That's going to be time gained in that regard. Decides to reset back without a path through Batsun hallway that isn't Crystal Flash Clip. Looks like they just would rather not do East Meridia at the current moment. But yeah, we'll see what we decide from here.
Probably gonna go to Lower Norfair and follow that through.
Yeah, that's
At least
definitely a
if,
sensible play.
yeah, given where East Meridia, I was actually a little surprised to see Audra go as far in East Meridia as she did, given the lack of ability to get through Botwoon Hallway. Though again, Crystal Flash Clip is a thing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the runners in this tournament can perform that trick.
Yeah, definitely not an easy trick, and depending on both your general comfort level and your immediately, present comfort level, if you haven't necessarily been practicing that trick or done it in a while, lots of people have been, a little bit inactive as far as Super Metroid's concerned. Maybe right now you're not comfortable with it, where previously you may have been. Always hard to know, but yeah, we've got, there are plenty of places where, you could find that ice speed, and frankly, as well as being the Botwoon hallway items, they're also the Zeb skip items. So you pretty much want, I mean, frankly, both of them, but at least one of them always, which is one of those
And
things that, Crystal Flash Clip, it aids you in not needing them, but it does not aid you as far as, Zeb skip and other benefits that those items provide.
yeah, you definitely don't want to need to go back and refill a couple of times to get through the Zebs. And it looks like Idol did take the energy tank of shame, but no shame in that, as this is Lower Norfair.
Yeah, and there's some talk in chat about the rest of this map. We are in West Meridia on Audraxys side, as you see. We have not seen 3 of these doors, and there are 3 other doors that we do not know, that being Croc, Kraid, and the back of Rex ship. It's possible all 3 of them are here. There's also a smaller chance that there is a self-connection in West Meridia, and the other dead end is in Lower Norfair. We will more than likely find that out pretty quickly here. As there's Kraid.
And there's Kraid, so that's more potential bad news for Idol, because Idol will most likely follow this through. However, not the worst news, because there is a very good chance that the front of, or the back of Lower Norfair will connect to West Meridia.
Yeah, it would be a little bit difficult traversal, especially if it happens to be the map station where the back of Lower Norfair is, just because unless Ice Beam's acquired behind Ridley, it would be a double spring ball jump to be able to get out of there. But just have to see how things play out. If it's Main Street, you're kind of fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I forget the complete lack of gravity suit for Idol. I mean, that is kind of important for Meridia traversal.
Yes, indeed. Currently, the tale of how this seed is going: one runner forked left, the other forked right, and the gravity suit was in one of those directions. Could have been the case that it was neither. And yeah, Audra with a little bit of a mishap, not getting that quick kill. One of the perks of
Kraid deserves prom once in a while.
Yeah, one of the perks.
Go ahead.
Actually,
you can explain the quick kill.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one of the perks of this mode we're playing this weekend with the starter plus charge. You actually always have charge meme, which if you're a vanilla runner, maybe you opt for the charge shot plus 4 super method, where in randomizer you're never guaranteed to have charge. As one of the upgrades is actually behind Kraid, as we just saw. So you're always able to do that. I've actually been utilizing that. I'm one of those people. I have my own kind of jank setup that involves shooting a missile into thin air for presumably no reason, purely for timing. But the charge beam setup is really easy and consistent, so I've just been doing that in these seeds. But 2-3 is definitely the speedrunner preferred fastest method, and I've always had issues with it, never got it consistent. That's why I don't do it, but most people are better than me.
Well, all I will say is, when it comes to playing these games, whether you're speedrunning or not, consistency is very important.
Absolutely, as Idol does end up slaying the beast that is Ridley. Was a little bit getting dicey, obviously. Various suit taking more damage against that enemy than you're probably used to. Ridley hits hard on only one suit, so nicely done. There's a spacer beam. Doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of looks at it
like
with
maximum punishment for Idol, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's that situation I was talking about with Crocomire there. We just got a confirmation that we have a back of Rex ship, or back of Lower Norfair, here at the map station. And if Idol wants to get out this way, he is going to have to double spring ball jump. And then spring ball jump up Main Street. So not necessarily the most fun sequence of rooms coming up here, as both of our runners are going to be a little bit of a conundrum, because as we just saw, a missile and spacer are your Lower Warfare rewards. Audra potentially still going to be looking for an item to conveniently traverse Botsman Hallway. And it's
So
very possible that, it could be that bowling could have that item for it. It could have been one of the 3 from Audra's perspective, but 2 from our knowledge that are still left in criteria. We skipped Croc, that could have one. And then there's Shack Tool, which is in East Meridia and doesn't require it, but it's very far out of the way and very slow.
yeah, there's still a lot out there that can get in the way of completing the seed, as you've just mentioned. Pretty thorough examination of all the different possibilities, and from Audra's perspective, probably the worst possibility would be if one of Ice or Speed is at that wreck ship underneath bowling, and then if the other one happens to be at Shack Tool. I mean, that's just levels of grossness.
Yeah, it's kind of an old adage was that in some of the old seeds we used to play different randomizer that the game would give you one Botswoon item and the other one would be behind that, whether it was the Botswoon E-Tank, the space jump item, maybe even plasma if you're playing vanilla bosses. That's not necessarily as true in the Dash randomizer, but can very much still happen. The items are randomly placed, and if the game says yes you can beat the seed, it says hey go play it and have a blast. Maybe you find what we want you to find. Maybe you don't. You find other avenues of completing the seed. But yeah, here we are. Not full on ammo, but Audra, 500 damage charge beam. I'm sure they've got this all calculated out. And as we saw last seed, very capable of many different styles of this fight. As here's Idol. He does want to leave
clearing out those crabs.
Another enemy that hurts. Crabs. Not your friends.
No, the pincer boys are not your friends. They will pincer you to death, very quickly. And we see Audra fighting Ridley, making relatively quick work of the big space pelican.
Yes, and I do believe currently all of the crabs in the room are gone, at least all the ones that could possibly get in your way. And yeah, double spring ball jump. It is a very tight timing. You see the crouch jumping, the pausing. Basically, you want to pause and jump really late, and then once you're in that jump, you actually want to wait pretty hard on the first spring ball. That way your pause comes pretty immediately afterwards, and then you can de-equip and re-equip that spring ball for a second jump.
It looks like Idol's actually bonking on the spring ball jump. Maybe I'm missing it.
Yeah, that one looks like it's definitely got a possibility. You've got to hold that this first one as long as possible and mash that start button to eventually get another jump off. I have never even messed around with this trick. It's pretty hard, that's all I know.
It's like mini tricks. It's a lot of inputs in a very short amount of time, and just one missed input or one frame too late and it doesn't work.
Yep, as we see Audra found that spacer beam, decided to take a pass, headed back through this lower north area. We'll see if they're wanting to go out the back to West Meridia, or potentially out the front. That would potentially allow them to check that screw attack. And
we do see Idol did get that double spring ball jump.
Yes, very nicely done. Currently, the inhibitor to going to this area is health, as well as if you wanted to check screw attack, the supers are not super great. And yeah, maybe Audra.
This is a spicy reverse acid dive. I'm not so sure this was a good idea.
Yeah, they may or may not have been fully aware of their current health. That would have been something to want better. And yeah, without the current ammo in the missile or the super missile regard, I think we're just going to be leaving out this way. So, as we know, it's just a missile over there and they're not missing anything. But that may be something lingering on their mind as far as, where is my Botswoon access and can I get it quickly or conveniently? Or am I gonna look at myself and say it's time to buckle up and get that CF clip?
Well, the CF clip, if you've got gravity and bombs, has a normalized setup that is very nice from what I've been told. I've never been able to do it because I haven't played this game in like 30 years. and we see that Idol is betting on Croc, an objectively good idea. At
This
least
seed,
until we find out what the item is.
this seed, it is not going to be the ultimate reward of the gravity suit. We will see what, in fact, it does hold. Obviously, with the space, the plasma beam into just a one shot of the boss, that can sometimes play into a runner's decision of whether or not to check. And yeah, I assume we're gonna gate glitch here. I maybe would have farmed those bugs at least once. We do have the option to bomb jump, but gate glitching's faster, and first try, never a doubt.
Yeah, first try great glitching is even faster than what I would have had to do, which would have been fail, go farm up, fail, go farm up, fail, go farm up, fail. You see where I'm going with this. And then eventually I would get it, because you can, it's not a difficult trick, it's just timing. Like a lot of things.
Yep. And it's a
And
speed
the
booster.
speed booster.
That is one of those two Botsween access items. And
So
if Idle is being really heads up, because of the way that this transition works, you could charge a spark in the Crocomire room and then carry that through and spark up Main Street. That'd be a lot faster than those spring ball jumps.
that would be spicy. Let's see if Idol thinks to do that. As we're not under any pressure in the commentator's booth, we come up with all kinds of crazy, awesome ways that things to do. But in a race setting, I don't know how many runners think of that.
Yep. Audra is back here in Upper Norfair.
And the answer is at least one.
Well, unfortunately, you can't do it this way. Oh, what?
What was that? Well, what did we
I
just
forgot
see,
it
DJ?
See, I forgot that it was up door to down door, so like it does, like it's normalized there, but it still doesn't do what you would normally expect. There's some like the way area transitions work with like the pose forces and stuff is a little bit beyond my pay grade, but yeah, I've never seen that in my life. It was really cool. Thank you, Idol.
That's okay. The standing spark was worth it, and you can see on Idol's face cam, Idol is enjoying it too, because I don't think Idol expected that to happen either.
Yeah, that was a sight to behold. Like I said, every randomizer seed, you never know what you're gonna get. As Audra, for the second time, shunning these criteria items, says, you know what? Maybe you have extra speed, maybe you don't. I'm not gonna stay around to find out, and gonna farm up these Kagos. Again, not currently equipped in the missile or super missile capacity to even attempt a Crystal Flash. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. There is we're at the top of Red Brent Star. There's some cacks here that will pretty much guarantee drop you supers. That'll get you 2 more. And if you reload that room again, that'll get you enough to get up to 10. And it's also the case that the middle portal here in Red Tower does lead to Aqueduct. So we're going to be headed to the front of West Meridia. And yeah, there's another super drop. Plenty of respawning enemies in this room to farm. Yeah, we got our supers very quickly. And yeah, Idol is going to be doing all of West Meridia suitless. Is going to find this grade. So a little bit unfortunate that the way this worked out, he's pretty much going to be ending up at the end being at a wreck ship, but he is going to be able to take advantage of that wreck ship to East Meridia connector and have the speed booster in tow to easily, just go through the area. But
yeah, this while it is a suitless Meridia, it looks, I would believe at this point Audraxys is going for the Crystal Flash clip. Obviously that's why we were farming up and why we are draining down, and yeah, I can words and talk about things, chat.
So yeah, take off both suits. These do 90 damage. Now we're in a comfortable range. We'll see if Audra decides. Yeah, it looks like we're going for that bomb setup. There is also a suitless setup where you de-equip basically everything. But this looks like what they are choosing to do, more comfortable. And with 20 power bombs, you got 9 attempts before you have to reset. We did see a save taken in Aqueduct. And yeah, this is a pixel perfect trick. You just have to be right where the power bomb explosion is when at the right time, and you will be capable of it activates the crystal clash, which puts you in a forced stand. And then you're above those crumble blocks. Yeah, Audra switching from the bomb setup to the suitless setup.
As we see Idle taking out Kraid, going to get rewarded with that starter charge beam. Or a charge upgrade, excuse me. Starts with the starter charge. I know what I'm... Again, chat, words are hard. Also, if you're paying attention, that wondrous spark that Idle did has been clipped by our tracker, Fishing Boo. Thank you for tracking, Fishing Boo. We appreciate you and are grateful that you were able to step in and help us out today.
Absolutely. So round number 1 goes to Batoon Hallway. Audra with a reset, likely going to try again. We'll see what happens here with regards to this clip.
So Speed Booster without Gravity Suit does not get Idle through Botwoon Hallway.
That is correct. Definitely still going to be wanting that Gravity Suit. And given its location, I'm assuming probably once Idle gets to Wreck Ship, it will be acquired. But we will see what his decisions are from this point. As a trolley big health drop puts Audra above the Crystal Flash Ring, so we're going to have to take damage from this enemy before we are back in business. And we're going back to bombs. Hope to see this advanced tech pulled off here, hopefully within the next few tries. But the longer it takes, the longer Idle has to catch up, and that speed booster is an advantage if they can, if we can get a closer race here.
Yeah, do not discount the value of the speed booster in escape. Where are you going? Idle, Idle, you want the wrecked ship. What are you doing? Maybe Idle has a potential location for the front of wrecked ship?
I believe that he didn't check where Torian is, honestly. I didn't see it when it was, when he was over there by Wave Beam. So yeah, round 2 once again goes to
round 2 goes to Botwoon Hallway.
Yeah, so I do think Idle's going to check here. He did save, so once this is Turian, Idle is just going to go back to the save and go to Wreck Ship. That's pretty much his only option here. That isn't some quite shenanigan-filled suitless East Meridia action. You would have to, you do have the high jump and the spring ball. Get anywhere, as well as the grapple beam, and then you would have to do the suitless Crystal Flash clip, which is something we've seen Audra attempting here at this juncture.
Round 3 for Audraxys, and she does have the capability of doing this, but again, it is a very difficult trick. This time, not getting trolled by a big health drop from the Metroid.
Yep, and also the case that did not even pick up the drop. But 5 energy would have been fine, so yeah. Round 1, a mix of both. Round 2, all gravity. Round 3, going back to suitless.
And there is that reset from Idle, so the Audraxys is going to need to get this relatively soon because Idle will be presumably finding the gravity suit after taking down Fantoon without doing a thing, and there it is.
Yep. Got into that location. We are good to go through Batoon Hallway. That was the final hurdle on Audra's way to complete this seed. Now it's just a couple of Meridia boss fights and the end game. Like we said, Idle does have a speed booster advantage, very much not insignificant, especially because of the Zeb skip. If we don't find ice, very much specifically at Space Jump, I don't think we're checking any other item. We'll have to use a good bit of the ammo collected just to kill the Zebatites as well as Mother Brain 1. But again, 500 damage on the charge beam is pretty good. Not too long of a fight.
That is absolutely true. And again, just kind of how the game goes. And that's one of the nice things about Dash is there are a variety of ways to complete the seed. In fact, I think this randomizer is specifically set up to encourage divergence.
Yeah, it's very much of the opinion that exactly one path through a seed is not necessarily the most optimal or most fun way to build things around. So you've got many options, and yeah, obviously, even aside from whatever the logic wants from you, if you're good enough at the game, you can break almost anything. Basically, there are some things that breaking requires out of bounds or banned glitches, but yeah, that boss fiend hallway, one of them where you just need enough ammo to crystal flash.
Yeah, this is I like to call Super Metroid one of the games that is broken in all the best ways.
Yes. It's funny, there's a common adage where people, maybe make fun of older games for being very broken, but then you speedrun them, and that's like you're exactly happy for exactly the ways that they're broken. This is definitely one of those. You're happy that, Mach Ball allows you to mimic faster speeds while rolling so you can get under gates that block you from supers, and, all the other fun sequence breaks that exist in the various speedrunning categories of this game.
And here we do see the check of the space jump item, and it is Ice Beam. Audraxys rewarded. That is going to be not enough to overcome a speed advantage, but when you've got a 2-boss advantage, it's probably GG's.
Yeah, done with every major boss. Has the Zeb skip now. Also, it's now a 600 damage beam. That is very, very, very good. It dropped the number of charge shots on a pure charge fight by 6, but it also gave you much more ammo in order to have for the fight. So we're gonna be comfy cozy there in Tourney, as well as obviously Metroid rooms are much faster. You don't have to wait around and powerbomb them 3 times a piece.
And we see Idol having a little bit of trouble setting up the microwave on Fantoon and showing displeasure at it. Fantoon, not an easy boss to microwave.
Fantoon is everyone's biggest enemy. He's the op to everyone's, hero arc. Stands in our way. He gives us bad patterns. He flies off in wanton directions. We just curse his name at any chance we get.
So one interesting thing in chat where we have Groovesy saying that every strat was absolutely intended by the devs. Based on the placement of some of the blocks in the game that allow for certain techniques to be used, it's hard to argue that some things weren't intended or at least thought about.
Yeah, it's the exact farm spots that are like ultra convenient for RBO really do give some credence to that argument. Well, one day, a Deer Force employee will release a Tellar memoir, and to Speedrunner's delight, we'll finally know, did they want us to go kill Ridley first, and then, set it up so that interrupting a Crystal Flash gave you a spark suit so that you could escape Dragon, and all of the other nonsenses that let you do this game in whatever way you please.
If that were the case, first of all, bravo to them, because the way that would come about, I would imagine, would be devs are working on the game. They've got some quality assurance who's playing the game, comes back and says, by the way, you can do this crazy thing. And the devs are like, pshaw, no player's ever gonna do that.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall in 1993 inside that development team. But as we see, Idol electing to do bowling first, a pretty rare occurrence. Probably feeling like this is a place that Audra may not have checked and is a good spot to spike something. Unfortunately, it is the case Audra didn't check it. It is not the case that it is the gravity suit. So we'll see what the reward is. There's the only good item left is Space Jump. And
Space Jump or one of the charge upgrades. Both of those would be good.
Yeah, the vanilla gravity location could definitely have the other one. That's true. We found the one on Chozo, but we did not find the wild one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That one is just random at some minor item location. So yeah. Let's see if the game will enjoy doing that for us. Just for the lulz.
It would only be like the 6th time this seed. But blue 4 down for Audra. Nice little palette change here on this seed. And we're into Turian. We've got ice. We're going to blaze through these rooms as quickly as we can without the speed booster. And let's see. Is this the final good item? Is Space Jump here at Gravity Missile. Nope, it's the other super.
But was this a 200 IQ play, and this is the other charge upgrade? No, it's just a power bomb.
Just a power bomb, so yeah. Considering this left portal, which I'm not even sure Idol is checked, is East Meridia, you have almost no choice but to run into your final progression piece, the gravity suit. I also don't know if he has any logical checks that aren't this location, given what he has done and the fact that the gravity suit can't be in criteria. So I think he actually may completely know that this is gravity already. And it's a little unfortunate. Obviously, like I said, there was a fork in the road, and one path led to gravity, one path led to a lot of suitless action, and a much delayed gravity. So Audra is going for baby skip this seed. No speed, but high jump plus all of the beams. Still pretty comfy. Comparatively, usually you just take an extra jump versus an optimal baby skip with speed, but nicely done. That's going to be a skip to baby and into the final arc of Turian, the final boss, and the Zeb skip. Both of which should be pretty easy. Without screw attack turned off, we may even be seeing the second Zeb skip, the so-called spring ball strap, but you don't need spring ball. We do have it, but there's screw attack turned off. We are just going to do the first one. Once all the ammo for Mother Brain that they can get.
Yeah, 600 damage beam, that's only a 30-shot fight. If you've still got 15 super missiles, that cuts it down by several. I don't know. I'm not licensed to do math on stream. Sorry, chat.
Yeah, we did get, I believe, one super snipe. Basically, 2 supers is a charge shot, so you can take off 4. And if you want a missile, you can. I believe optimally, missiles in this charge beam should probably be equal DPS, as Audra pointed out in a race the other day. A mistake with a charge beam costs you a second. If you are slow on a missile shot, it could be by a frame or 2, and you'll be fine. So overall, it's more likely that this is faster. And I believe they were at 37, so they shot 36. So take off 10 shots. We're only shooting 20 times.
And again, you can see Audra really good at the math. Leaving that single missile because that single missile didn't matter would have just been a waste of however long it takes to fire a missile.
Cooldown's 10 frames. So
saving 10 frames.
That is what we do in Super Metroid. We save 10 frames if there are 10 frames to save. Gosh darn it. There she is. Charging up the Rainbow Beam. Gonna knock damage down, 300 energy. And then try again. But our friend, the baby Metroid, is gonna save us from certain disaster as we stare death in the face. Meanwhile, Idol in the East Meridia with this gravity suit has the speed booster. No crystal flash clip shenanigans necessary, but the path to victory is very much at Audra's feet. Just needs to run forward, which is what we do in the dash randomizer. I suppose I should have said dash forward. Missed opportunity for certain.
That's okay. If I learned anything from the first time I did commentary for this randomizer, it's actually that the D is silent for some reason.
Oh yes, we were having lots of fun the other day with dashless category favorite of a commentator cross product, leaving D's out of the way. We like to have fun out here. We're enjoying it with the runners and you all out there in chat. Very much appreciate you joining us, keeping us company, talking strategy, talking silly, giving us clips of hilarious moments that happened during the seed. That's why we're here on the Speed Gaming Network, full of great people who do lots of work behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on the mic, in your homes, in Virginia in October. Hopefully anyone out there, if you've ever thought of attending an in-person speedrun event, SG Live 2024 at the beginning of October, we would love to see you. I was there last year, had an absolute blast. Highly recommend that to anyone out there, whether you want to compete, you want to give some commentary, maybe organize an event, or maybe just hang out with people online and have some fun.
Very well said. As we see Mother Brain 3 taking a hyper beam to the face again and again until that big brain can take no more, and there it is. Idol kind of scooping away the attempt at a halfie.
Yes. Very much could have been a nice to see full half. He didn't get to see that last run, and obviously Ultra without the speed booster. I gave it an attempt, but sparked upwards to not his own delight. But
Yeah,
full half is a
my
very fast way
favorite
to do
thing
this
again.
room. Sorry, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say my favorite thing is the face cams where you can see Idol displeased, just swatting it away. Like, dang it. Yes, the escape music, everyone's favorite, and like I see chat having a small debate over some of the larger flaws, and I will just say maybe, just maybe, the developers of this game were like the builders of the Death Star, and they intentionally put flaws in.
Or, alternate crackpot theory is that the people who find these strats are secret former devs or their offspring, and they've just been told from, people who did build it. It's like, hey, what if you tried this wonky combination of inputs with these items in this place, and, what happens?
Yes, that is certainly a possibility, though. I think that's just the crazy people that are out there, and crazy in a good way, that they go through and they look frame by frame through different things, just seeing, in a debugger, what's happening here. As Audraxys has reached the landing site, about to get on the ship, and has finished in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour and 10 seconds, followed immediately by a forfeit from Idol. A great showing by Idol in this race as well.
Yes, the 2-0 series victories, GG's to both. Confirmation in race time, Idol is a little bit busy today and has to go, and I know from the previous race, Audra, as you can see with the mask, feeling a little bit under the weather, so I also do not expect them to be joining us here. But once again, thank you to both of our runners. This was very much an entertaining one. Audra, a little bit of issues there in Batu and misses out on that sub hour for the fourth consecutive race, but does get the victory nonetheless. We'll be advancing onto the semifinal round. Tomorrow awaits the winner of Farflu versus Derp, the 4-5 matchup that is happening. I believe that's our final starting series today. Already going on right now is Kip versus Nick Player. That's the 2 and the 7 seeds. Hopefully, if someone is in control of that raid bot, we'll be raiding them shortly on SG main. But yes, confirmation. Try not to get any of the commentators sick. That is much appreciated.
All right, well, let's get some GGs in chat for both Audraxys and Idol. Both of them putting on great race for our entertainment. Also, not only GGs, go give them a follow. They deserve follows, as does my co-com DJ D-Web, and our tracker Fishing Boo. Again, Fishing Boo doesn't stream, but is considering setting up a fishing stream just because they can.
Yes. Everyone loves to wake up with the early birds, grab that worm, and catch some fish for the day. It's very much appreciated. And to my co-commentator Adam, it's been a pleasure. I know you said you're relatively new at this. Thought you did an excellent job. Be happy to join you on the mic again. But yeah,
well, thank you. Yeah, I'm new to commentating Super Metroid. I've done commentation for different communities, so.
Oh yeah, you were talking about Z1 the other day. I remember that now.
Yeah, but yep, I think that's gonna bring us to an end of this episode. Hopefully we have somebody who can push the raid button and take us over to Speed Gaming Prime for Kip versus Nick Player. I know that's a hype matchup and is currently ongoing.
Yep, and I'm gonna look at our crew setup. I know we were still looking for some people out there. It looks like Duck is on the mic as well as Mass Hysteria. So we've got some voices over there. Shout outs to everyone helping us out, volunteering their time as the items scroll through. Looks like Space Jump was at Gauntlet. And yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Again, thank you all for joining us. Speed Gaming main for the next match, as well as we have Zeb versus Nitro starting at 7:10 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming 4, and as I said, the aforementioned Farflu versus Derp on SG main following Kip versus Nick Player. Scheduled start at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you want some more Super Metroid, like we said, this weekend we have you covered. We are going to be starting and finishing this from Thursday to Monday, holiday weekend here in the US. Having some fun, playing some rando, talking nonsense, inventing new sparks up main streets, and having a lot of fun. So, yeah, thank you all for joining us. And until then, we will see you next mission.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.